It's breakfast time! We need to dig into the data. Throw the football! I'll take 2 pancakes, extra syrup. 1 cup of coffee to go, please. Man, I'm full. I hope you're hungry, guys, because
it's breakfast.
No. You got to earn that. No, we're not ready yet. It's breakfast time. I'm your host, Jer, and I am joined this week by Jeff.
Hey, guys.
It's been a long week. Jeff and I have had a lot of talks, a lot of long talks. There's been tears. There's been confession. There's been a lot of clearing the air. And I have agreed to have Jeff back on the show for a probationary period. He's not stepping into his segment analyst role just yet. This is more of a have him on the air, have him, see how professionalism works, the things you're allowed to say on air, the things you can't say on air. And I think that this is going to be something good for the show, and definitely something good for Jeff, and a learning time for him. So, welcome, Jeff. We're glad to have you back. You look different. You honestly look like a new person.
Well, I feel like a new person. I'm not the same Jeff that I was a few weeks ago, and I'm just so thankful to be given a second chance to be back on this podcast.
Yep.
Giving expert advice, and I want to say first a thank you to you, Jer, for not only continuing to house me and feed me, but for letting me in and giving me that second chance that no one else really has. But I'm excited to talk football. A lot has happened this week, and
And that is refreshing to hear, that you want to talk football and that your focus is on the football. I didn't even have to tell you that you came in with that. I love that energy. That's actually the kind of stuff we need to see more of, and that I'm excited to see from you. Depending how the show goes, we might have a little bit of time for Jeff to do maybe a little bit of sharing at the end. There's some things that need to be said, and there's other things that don't need to be said. But fair. We're not going to get into the details right now. We're just going to get into the show. And Jeff, this is your shot.
Yeah.
This is the injury report. This is something that's important. It's crucial. And I gave this one to you, and take it away.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Jer? I was listening back to my last podcast, and man, hearing it now, I'm ashamed at the lack of diligence and work that I needed to do to deliver a good podcast, and obviously I'd failed to deliver. So I spent extra time getting info for you, the listeners, and for you, Jeremy. So for flipping injuries, I'm excited to tell you of people who got hurt. Darnell Mooney, on Nom Nom Nom's team, he suffered from a hamstring incident late in the game. Still was able to put up some points, but he got injured. Alexander Madison on Roxanne Pouch's team, he has an ankle injury. Ty J. Spears on Cam Ara's team suffered a concussion. And that's it. It was probably the lightest week of players in our teams. That's the only players who sustained an injury this past week. So
do you have any updates on last week injuries, where those players are at in their recovery? Because there was a lot. I went through a lot of told the audience we'd be giving them updates on that.
Stupid. Jer, damn it. I'm sorry I let you down there. I should have thought to have done that, and I didn't.
You're still getting into it, Jeff. That's just one of those little. We can talk about it after. It's one of the little things. It's all right. No, you did.
Man, right off the bat.
No.
Sorry.
You got it, Jeff.
Sorry, guys.
Rock with us, Jeff. We got you.
Damn
okay,
it. Damn
guys. We're gonna give Jeff a bit of slack. This is his first week back. He is actually. I will vouch for him. I've seen it firsthand. He is on the healing journey, and
I am.
He's spent a lot of time doing recovery stuff and trying to do all the football stuff and trying to get back to the level of quality that we expect on this show. It's not an easy thing, Jeff. Okay, I can give you a bit of slack. Right, it's your first segment back. You're a little rusty. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to take it away for the breakfast breakdown. We got our match of the week. It was Rocks in a Pouch versus the Gerbinator. I got 2 words for you guys. Crown him. Crown him. King David. King of the league. Only Sib Safety stands in his way of being the true king of the league. He may only have a stone to sling, but David is a force. What a matchup. And it took a few weeks, but David finally nailed his start-sit decision on the tight end. Putting in Njoku, just a flash of brilliance on David's part. He was the one to start. He lit it up, and he got the points for David, which gave David the win. Ironically, on the other side, it was Gerbs putting in the carcass of Kelsey over Bowers. The old dog gets like 3 points. Even a lifeless bag will occasionally catch a football, but he's got no wiggle. He's got no yak. I think he had like 8 yards. That was sad. That was absolutely sad. And, a win's a win. David comes away with a win, and it came down to the tight end. Starts and sits.
Yeah.
What a showdown. Match of the week did not disappoint.
You just can't leave Brock Bowers out of your lineup.
No.
What has he ever done to you, Gerbinator, for you to sit him out? 31 points on your bench?
Oh, that hurts. But, a little bit of reality check for the Gerbinator. He still is the Gerbinator.
That's true.
Make no mistake. His team is still sick. I'd be scared to face him, but, when you're going up against the king, you can't get too cocky because you don't know what stone he's pulling out of his bag. It's one tailored for you. And that's exactly what David did. Well done, David. It's been very cool to see you grow this year. And I feel kind of proud, that I get to have been part of that and kind of fostering that development. And your humility and your willingness to learn shows a lot.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
A boy cannot become a man without his 2 dads.
Wow.
Me and you. Next matchup. Love Hurts versus Cam Ra. Wow. This was a sweaty one. As sweaty as can be. It was like 2 heavyweights just exchanging blows, blow after blow after blow. But one man has to stand on top. And that turned out to be me. But let me just give you the rundown. Camera, Taysom Hill, tight end, 42.5 points.
Wow.
What the H is that?
And he didn't win?
And he didn't win. Bo Nix, 28.78 points. Jameson Williams, 22.6 points. He had a high score, 152 total points, but he faced me, who ended with 157 points. My story was one of everyone performing, except for one player, Terry McLaurin, he's the number 9 wide receiver of the season, but he only got 2 points. He got 2 targets, 1 catch for 10 yards. But man, my Detroit running backs, Gibbs and Montgomery, pulling together 40 points roughly together. Brees Hall, 30 points.
That's crazy.
But then the crazy part was the Monday night game, Cowboys versus the Texans. The Cowboys kicker and the Texans defense. Cam has, I think, the number 2 overall pick, CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
And my team had to pull a miracle, and in one play that miracle happened.
Wow.
There was 2 fumbles. This was in one play. 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 defensive touchdown. And that just turned the tides in my favor, and wow. It was a great matchup.
That's sick.
It was a gentleman's matchup. Cam and I were exchanging texts during it, wishing each other luck. And it was kind of like having a friend where you can share your joy, but also you can offer your shoulder for the other person to cry on a little bit. And so I shared my joy and I offered my shoulder to Cam.
I'm really glad to see that you guys kind of were able to use this fantasy football, as a way to kind of put a bridge over the strife and some of the anger that you've been feeling towards him. And I think that's what football does. It kind of washes it all away.
Yeah.
It washes it all away, and you forget the anger and the hate in your heart, and you just get kind of overwhelmed with the love and the passion and the family and the heart that football brings.
Yeah, Cam and I have a history together. Everyone knows that and has heard that. But one thing I've been learning from Dr. Sue is you have to use your passion as the bridge to make amends. And thankfully, we both share a passion. That's football. And we were able to kind of make amends. Not everything's right, I guess, but we're taking steps towards that. And I'm proud of Cam, but maybe more so, I'm proud of myself.
I think you should be. I think just the way you talk about healing and growth, and really just the things that you're learning from Dr. Sue that you've been telling me a little bit about. I'm excited for you. Next match was Cook Line and Sinker versus Sib Safety. This was it was a tough one to see. I don't want to gripe about it too much longer, but we still haven't figured out the player points cap issue that Sleeper's been dealing with, because that's kind of what ruined this matchup, kind of soured it.
Yeah.
Cook Line Sinker, they didn't have a great week. It was the running backs, it was the defense and kicker, and the rest of the team kind of flopped. Okay. But it was a solid performance. And then on the other side, Sib Safety, T. Higgins, 29.8 points. He is a wide receiver 2 on the team. Oh. So the points cap on a wide receiver 2 would be 15 points. That's a solid week. That is a fair week for a wide receiver 2. That's a cap. And then you're looking at Jonnu Smith, who last year was average points on the year was like 2.8 points per week.
No. Real?
And year to year, you can't jump up in points like that. To get 28 points this week, his cap is 10.
I was gonna say
is 10.
8 or 9, but 10's fair, I guess.
10 is a fair cap. Yeah. That's his ceiling. Now, that's not saying that's what he should be getting every week. That's his ceiling. So if we were able to actually see kind of the corrections, the changes that need to be made, this would have easily gone to Cook Line and Sinker.
Yeah.
They played within the rules. They played a fair match. They started the right players, and Braden has to deal with a loss, unfortunately. And we have to see Sib Safety retain number 1 in the league as far as sleeper standings, not power rankings, but sleeper standings, yeah. Mm-hmm. We're still dealing with that. But you know what? We actually have a little exciting update regarding sleeper coming a little later in the show.
Yep.
Some of the changes that we foresee happening due
Hopefully.
to some exciting new developments in the technical back end side of it, kind of business side of it, that Jeff and I have been able to kind of pull the curtain back a little bit and have a chat with Oz, you could say.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Am I happy with this sleeper right now? No. Is it something I'm going to deal with? Yes. Okay. It's this. We're working with what we got. So we will move on to the next matchup. Jeff, you got Nom 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 versus Bare Necessities.
Yeah. You would think, this is going to be a snooze fest. The number 10th seed versus the number 9 seed. I would argue no. This is actually there's some interesting storylines going on here. They each had the number 1 and number 2 quarterback of the week.
Wow, who?
Jared Goff was the number 1 quarterback for Rob, for Nom Nom Nom, 34.58 points.
Solid.
Jeff K, Bare Necessities, he had Joe Burrow for 29 points. And Joe Burrow has been on a heater.
Yeah.
The past 3 games, quarterback 1, quarterback 1, quarterback 2.
He just can't win games, I guess, eh? Brutal.
I guess so. That is brutal. And so you had these 2 powerhouses helming each team, and then the players, it was like one player would underperform, but then the next player overperforms, and it was just like this back and forth. And despite Nom 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 having Tucker Kraft with 0 points, he comes out with a 4-point lead.
That's a tight finish.
It was a very tight finish, and the difference between the quarterback points, 5 points. So even though you have the quarterback 2, that's just not enough.
And something tells me Goff was a waiver wire pickup. Hasn't he been on waivers?
I think so.
So this is a testament to never give up, be active on the waivers.
Exactly.
That's what it's going to take to win. Good job, Rob.
Yeah.
Great job. Anything else on the matchup, Jeff?
Other than Jeff K having Austin Eckler with 17 points and Christian Watson with 19 points on his bench.
Oh.
That's all.
That hurts. Last match was Bear Me, that's yours truly, versus Eggs and Bacon. I needed this win very badly. As many of you guys are aware, I started this season 4-0. And I think I put a bit of a target on my back. And everyone in the league piled on in a big way. I haven't won a game since. Okay? Have I gotten points? Yeah. Hell of a lot of points. Just not at the right time. And that's on me. But at the same time, there's a bit of piling on from the whole league, I think. And this week was no different. My hope to make it out of the bottom bracket is slowly fading. My best shot was by beating Andrew, because I think in total points 4, if I could just get ahead of him just a little bit, just get to that last 6th spot, maybe I could overtake him. But he is wiry, and he's hard to take down, and that's something I wish I had right now going for me, but I don't. There's nothing I could have done differently. I'm a victim of chance right now. Amon Ra and Puka Peekaboo Nakua were popping out of nowhere, scaring the daylights out of me. Those points, that was terrifying. To see them stack up point after point after point, it was like insane. It was too much for me.
Insane. Yeah.
I actually had to check out this week, guys. Football wise,
really,
fantasy football wise. I had to put the phone away and just kind of pretend that I was somewhere else. Have you ever tried that, where you you leave your body and you stop thinking about anything?
Actually, a lot recently with Dr. Sue, some of the therapy sessions.
Yeah.
Just kind of having this out of body experience and just rewiring the brain a little bit.
Yeah, I need my brain rewired. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Need a lot of rewiring. It was a tough week, but I will have to say, hats off to you, Andrew. You got the win. It's the boom players. We see it time and again. You don't need a perfect team, but you need boom players that have a high ceiling, and Andrew's got him. And he's sitting at 7-3. That's
Wow.
impressive.
Wow. What?
Yeah, it's impressive.
Huh.
So, got to give kudos to Andrew. That wraps up our breakfast breakdown. This next segment is one that is quite important. And last year, I let you guys know that we weren't in a place to...
Last year?
Last week.
Yeah.
Feels like it's been a year. That's how much has gone on in the last week. We could do a 3-hour podcast on what's gone on in the last week as far as fantasy, as far as Jeff, Al, me, living situation, food situation, mental health, recovery, the whole thing. It's been a year. But last week on the podcast, we didn't have a pancake meter because it blew up. And
in a way,
it was so intrinsically tied to Al that we just couldn't go forward in good conscience and just throw it together for you guys. This is a segment that I've told Jeff I will be doing on my own for now.
Yeah.
Jeff, he had a real number did on him. Al had Jeff messed up, and Jeff's still working through that.
Yeah.
He's still aligning his mind and his body, and he's not in a place to be giving rankings to other teams. We take that very seriously. So I will be running this segment on my own. It will be without Al. Now, I've had a few people private message me asking what's going on with Al.
Yeah.
What's going on with Jeff.
Yeah.
And Jeff, do you want to give us a little bit of insight as to where is Al right now?
Yes.
Is he in our networks?
Yeah.
Maybe tell them a little bit about how we've been dealing with that and how we've been making things right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's been quite a big development. Everything that Jeremy says is true. I think it's number one. It is best for the podcast and the listeners that Jared does the pancake meter. I recognize that and I accept that and I support that decision. That's something that I can't expect to just take the reins again after mishandling that so terribly. So a bit of an announcement. I know I hyped up kind of the sleeper rival All Al, and everyone was really excited about that. And so I have to say that is no longer going to be happening. Al is actually not in the equation anymore. Long story short, I was deep in debt. I was at the point where I was scared for my life. Jeremy was sheltering me, thankfully. And I had no way to make that money back until I got a phone call. And I thought that it was, just another person scamming me. But after further investigation and talking, I discovered that, no, this was someone who was actually interested in buying Al, buying the algorithm, which would mean them taking him. And who was that buyer? Well, it was none other than Sleeper, actually, which is quite interesting. So that was a whirlwind of a few days trying to handle that bombshell of news of this could be the last lifeline that I have, but I have to let them take Al away. But after having some good conversations with you, Jer, and
And I was skeptical at first. I'm not gonna lie, I was skeptical.
Yeah.
You know, when you told me they'd approached you, I thought, you know, is this a scam? Are they messing with us? Like, they're clearly listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
They've heard they know who we are.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
We're on their radar. We've definitely been on their radar, but I think they saw what was going on with Al, and it excited them
I think
in a
they're. I
way
think
that
they're.
it terrified us, or me, I should say.
Honestly, in a way that it excites them, I think they're also afraid because they knew
We were coming for them.
we were coming for them.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, it is a bit of a win-win where they get Al, they win. They have a monopoly on the fantasy football app side of things, but I was able to get a hefty sum of money to pay off all of the loan sharks and the creditors and
Wow.
and pay off even Mike and Crystal for giving me some of the money that they lent. I mean, now I'm still having to, I'm still doing their chores and running their laundry and mowing their lawns and raking the leaves and all that stuff for them, for kind of interest, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very tough to say goodbye to my only friend, who, well, I thought he was a friend, turned out to be kind of a leech, I guess. And I see that now, but back then I didn't see that. And now I feel like my eyes have been open thanks to you and thanks to Dr. Sue, who has been just life-changing for me.
Yeah. And it's been a process that was also important as far as just kind of cleaning house with Al.
Yeah.
And having him out of our internet and our airwaves and cell phones. And I'll tell you, the amount of money that we spent on cleaning out our tech from all the remnants of Al, it's cost a lot, but it's been worth every penny. I'll say that. I've had Jeff's computer. It was taken over by Sleeper. They extracted Al. And then we brought the computer to a third party to do a full cleaning. We've got privacy controls on there for Jeff. We put on some internet browsing software to kind of help keep Jeff on track and, on the straight and narrow. And especially during this recovery time where you're
vulnerable.
weak.
I'm weak. I'm vulnerable. And I'm glad there's those restrictions because, in a moment of weakness, I could be like, I got to create another Al.
Yeah.
But now I can't.
Yeah.
And that's good for me. And now I can start a new story.
Yeah.
I can finally close the book on that old Jeff, and now I'm new Jeff.
New Jeff.
And I'm creating new memories. And with Dr. Sue and her, psychotherapy, she's even able to kind of delete old memories.
Wow.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's a little scary at first, walking through that door every day or nearly every day. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm not going to be shocked, quite literally. But every time I leave that door, I feel alive. And it's kind of like Buckley's. If it tastes bad, it's working. And so it's wreaking havoc on my body and my brain. But at the same time, I feel like I've never felt before.
You're sitting lighter. Right? I just looking at you, it's like there's been a weight lifted off of your shoulders and then even your eyes. There was like a darkness before.
Yeah,
you were in deep with Al, and it's like there's like a brightness now.
Yeah,
there's a real electricity.
There's a sparkle.
There's a buzzing. You're buzzing.
Yeah, totally.
It's cool to see, and really I hope all the best for Sleeper. I hope they can take some of the ranking systems that Al was, because it wasn't all bad, guys.
No.
It wasn't all bad. There was some exciting, cool stuff that Al could do and that Al was doing. But then there was the seedy side of it. And there was the takeover. There was the control. There was the mental manipulation. There was the sentient part of it that really got Jeff twisted up. And it got our league twisted up, and it got our pancake meter twisted up. So I'm hoping that Sleeper can take some of those good things. They can rework it. They can do some of the ceiling, the point ceiling on some of these players, some of these updates that we've been suggesting. That was definitely part of the package where, they wouldn't agree to anything in writing, but we did say we made suggestions for them.
Yeah, we did.
And I hope they listen.
Yeah.
But for now, this pancake meter rating, this was the ground up. This was me going through the teams, going through the league, and getting a really clear picture. Where does everyone stand? This pancake meter, it reflects your chances of making it into the bottom bracket. What are your chances of making it into the bottom bracket and ultimately into the pancake house? We are going to start from the top of the rankings. We're at SIB safety. Last week, they were at 0 points. That was a little ambitious for Al. There is not a 0% chance. They're not there yet. It's close, but they're not there yet. They could collapse, and is it going to happen? Probably not. Could it happen? Yes.
Yeah.
They're at a 0.09 pancakes. There is a tiny chance if everything falls apart, if they score 0 points for a few weeks, they may be in the bottom bracket.
Yep.
Don't worry, guys. 0.09 is a small number, okay? You're doing fine, but there is a chance. Number 2 in the rankings, King David, rocks in a pouch. He was at 6.5 pancakes. He is now at 3 pancakes. That may seem a little high. He is second in the league. But when you look at his total points for, if he stumbles, there's still a chance the 6th seed, he gets leapfrogged by another team. He's not super strong on total points, so he's at a 3. Still in a good spot. Eggs and bacon, 3.5 pancakes. Similar story. The total points is quite weak for eggs and bacon. He knows how to win. He doesn't need to win by a lot. That's kind of his MO. He picks his spots, and that's something that not everyone knows how to do.
Yeah.
I'm looking at myself here. But his total points is weak. He's got an easy schedule ahead, so 3.5, that's fair. Love Hurts was at 0 pancakes. We're not going to get into that. That was wrong. Okay?
Yeah, that was wrong.
Yeah.
I acknowledge that.
Love Hurts is at 4 pancakes.
4 pancakes?
Yeah.
What?
That's good. That's low. Total points is strong.
Very strong.
It would take a bit of a collapse at this point to lose really what's a 111 point advantage over the bottom bracket. So he's in a good spot. But there is a chance. Okay, he's at a 4.
Okay.
Gerbs was at a 3 last week. That is when he became the Gerbinator. And he still is the Gerbinator, but he's at a 4. Okay? Same reason as Jeff. He's in a good spot. Has a lot of points. But there is a chance if he stumbles, if he doesn't put up the big weeks, things could change quickly. His record, what is he at? Is he at the 6 and
5?
6 and 5. Okay, so
5th place.
So there's a chance that a few of the teams below him go on some real runs with some wins.
Yep.
That's what he needs to be nervous about.
Yep.
The points are okay, but teams below him getting wins and him not getting wins, yeah, he's at a 4. Last week, Camera was at a 1. Again, that was a little bit kind of future reading, Sentient Al stuff. That's when it started really creeping in.
Yeah.
Putting Cam at a 1.
Yeah.
No, he's at a 6. Okay.
6. Okay.
And I know what you're saying. He's not in the bottom bracket. Why is he above a 5? He's at a 6. Okay. Total points and record has you in shooting range. You got a lot of teams, hungry teams behind you. I'm one of them, Cam. Okay. Braden's one of them. All right. Bare Necessities is one of them. We're hungry. Okay? Nom 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 is not one of them. We're hungry. Okay? We're coming after you. And if you're not careful, if you lose a couple weeks, things can change quickly. Okay? Stay on high alert. Cook, line, and sinker. Last week, 6.5 up to 7. Okay? There's a decent chance, Braden, that you are going to be battling in the bottom bracket come playoff time. Think about that. You're at a 7. Baramy, that's me. 8.5 last week, 8.5 again. You know, there's a very good chance.
Yeah.
Come December, I'm sitting on the shitter and I'm fighting for my life. Okay, I don't want to go there yet. I'm still struggling in the bucket of cream. Okay, still I'm gonna make butter. I'm hoping to make butter, but 8.5 is serious territory.
Yeah. Wow. Is that the highest you've ever been?
Well, it was 8.5 last week too.
Okay.
But this is the highest I've ever been with a proper fair ranking.
Right.
Last week was Al.
Yeah.
That was all Al. This week, this is the highest I've ever been, really.
Yeah.
Bare Necessities last week was at 9.5. He's at 9.75.
Wow.
Jeff K, gear up. Get ready for war. Okay? Your fate isn't entirely sealed, but it's basically sealed. So get ready. Buckle up. It's going to be a rough ride.
Yeah.
Get ready for war. Nom 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 was at 9.9. That was the highest score ever given. This week, Nom 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 moves up to 9.99. This is going to take... Okay, 9.99. You're not at a 10 yet. There is a mathematical way you could score a bajillion points and take the 6th spot. Okay? You could go on a tear. You could put up wins. It's possible. But this is going to take miracles on miracles on miracles. And I'm just going to say, you're going to go need to talk to your friend David. Okay? You're going to need to tap into something higher than yourself if you want to see that happen. And I think more realistically, do what Jeff K's doing and buckle up and get ready for war and get ready to fight for your life. No one wants to spend 24 hours in a pancake house. It's not, after 6 hours, it's not funny anymore. Okay,
Right.
guys, this is serious.
Yeah.
We're here to have fun, but we're getting to a place where we got to fight. You got to start forgetting who your friends are, and you got to fight for yourself. I think some of us in this bottom bracket need to just kind of put the friendlies away and put the fists up. It's starting to get serious.
Wow.
We're entering the witching hour of the season.
Wow.
As a good friend of ours on Red Zone would say, we are in the witching hour.
Yeah.
Right now. This is it, guys.
Very apt.
That is your updated pancake meter. This is fair. There were a lot of weeks where it wasn't fair, and a lot of you guys were complaining, and looking back now, you actually had valid complaints. There's nothing you can complain about this week. This is a proper ranking. Do with it what you will. This is for you. It's a tool for you. It's something.
It's a wake-up call maybe for others.
Yeah, exactly. It's a wake-up call. That wraps up the pancake meter for this week. We are going to go into one of our final segments. It's the match of the week. It's the primer for next week, and I've invited Jeff to take on this segment.
Yeah, and again, Jer, thank you so much for putting your trust in me. I'm not going to let you down. When I see the matchups for week 12, my eyes immediately go to my matchup with Braden. Whoever comes out on top, if I win, I almost solidify my chance of, staying in the upper bracket. If Braden loses, maybe that solidifies him in the loser's bracket. But I realize, it's not always about me. It's not always about me, so we're not going to do my matchup, actually, as match of the week. The match of the week, the Mo, as Jer would put it. Rocks in a pouch versus Sib Safety. This is the number 1 team versus the number 2 team. We're going to find out who should be at the top. Is King David, is it his time to finally take the throne? And is he not the little boy anymore? Or is Sib Safety meant to be that beast on top, that 2-headed beast that just destroys anything in its path?
Yeah.
It's going to be an exciting matchup. My eyes are going to be looking there for sure.
Yeah. And mine will as well.
Mm-hmm.
That is really well done segment, Jeff. I would have picked that exact matchup as well, which tells me that you're dialed in.
And something that's kind of a little interesting with this match of the week. David's quarterback, Josh Allen, is on bye this week. Oh. So he's going to have to stream some quarterbacks.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of a shepherd boy taking off that heavy armor that everyone said he needed and saying, no, don't need that.
Yep.
I don't need that.
Yep.
I got something way better. It's that shedding of that protective exterior that Josh Allen brings to his team. And it's playing fast and loose with the rocks and the sling.
Yeah.
And man, this is going to be good.
It's going to be good.
This is why we do it, guys.
Yeah.
Matchups like this, I'm going to be glued to the Sleeper app. It'll be hard for me to even watch the game because I'm going to be glued to this matchup. Just seeing the stats updates, play-by-plays in the Sleeper app.
It's going to be riveting. I can't wait.
Very exciting. Thank you, Jeff, for the Week 12 Mo. Before we get to our last segment, Locked and Loaded, we're going to touch base with Cam. He's going to set us up this week to make the moolah, but I wanted to give a little bit of space for Jeff to officially maybe clear the air, kind of speak into what happened last time you were on the show. Yeah. And I think there's something that the audience is owed.
Yep. And
I hope it's something that comes from your heart, not something that comes from me telling you what you need to say and do. But I'm just going to give you the space to do that.
Well, no, I appreciate that, Jer. Yeah, clearly the last time I was here on this podcast, I was not myself. And I think we can all agree on that. I was extremely tired, sleep deprived. Al would actually continuously play loud music to keep me awake.
Wow.
So I'd be under his thumb that much easier. And I know you've complained about the loud noise, and now you know what that was. Yeah. And so I kind of turned into someone I never thought I would turn into, and I'm ashamed. And I'm ashamed that I also let the listeners down. They come here for sound football advice from football experts, and I failed many weeks in a row, actually. And so I want to officially apologize for my actions and for my words and for not bringing you the best content every week that you deserve. I'm sure it was distressing to many of you. It was definitely misleading, and that's not okay. And I apologize to each person. And you know what? I'm going to name you by name, okay? Jeremy, I apologize.
I forgive you.
Michael and Crystal, I apologize. Cameron, I apologize. Jeff Caterberg, I apologize. Andrew Doomring, I apologize. Rob, I apologize. Braden, I apologize. Brady, I apologize. David, I apologize. And Jeff, Gordon, I apologize to you, which is me.
The heartburn, Jeff's going to be forgiving yourself. It's one thing to apologize to yourself. I want to see you forgive yourself.
Sometimes I don't think I can say those words.
Bring it to Sue. See what she says. She's been good for you.
She's been amazing for me.
And how many times have you seen her? I feel like you've been there almost every day.
I try to go there almost every day. With some of that leftover cash, I'm able to kind of invest in myself in a way and really see the expert that she is. And she's taught me a lot about myself, and she's helped me along this healing journey. I've been surrounded by this, by Al for so long, and this computer brain, and now I'm learning about the human brain. And it's so fascinating, the brain and what it's like, how it works. And, I'm learning stuff about myself. I'm learning I have a highly addictive personality. I think that's what makes me so good with numbers and math and data. I can't get enough of it, and I obsess. And unfortunately, that happened with the betting, with the gambling, and with Cam's Locked and Loaded. I got a little bit too obsessed with it, and I was putting way too many units down, so that's something I've learned with Dr. Sue is I don't think I can do this anymore with the Locked and Loaded with Cam. I'm not going to. I'm gonna be here, but I'm not going to kind of encourage that type of behavior. I think it's kind of destructive. It's destructive for myself.
Well, Jeff, that's not really. What you think I'm being destructive to myself? You think I'm like this is good?
No,
this is good for me.
I would disagree.
Don't come back on the show in week 1 and tell me I got a problem because I'm gambling 17 units a week.
No, Jer, I would not. I would be the last person to tell you what to do. I just want to tell you from my personal experience that dropping units like that is very dangerous. And
for
can
you,
get bad quickly.
For you, it's dangerous.
For me, it was dangerous, and I
don't
want to see that happen to anyone else, especially you. If this podcast was mine, I would actually cut out this segment entirely. To be honest.
Well, okay, I'm glad I know that. Because it's never going to be yours. Because we're never going to cut this segment. I want you to be back, but I want you to support the show, and this is a part of the show.
I fully support the show. There's just a part of it I don't support. I hope you will see how it ruined my life, and I don't want that to happen to you. Or anyone else listening.
If you would have followed Cam's advice, it wouldn't have ruined your life. That's all I'm going to say. You ruined your life. Betting didn't ruin your life. Gambling didn't ruin your life. You ruined your life. There's a big difference. There's nothing. I'll say it once. I'll say it once the last time. There's nothing wrong with gambling. It only has brought good things. People screw up their lives. Gambling doesn't screw up lives. It's the people. You can get rid of the gambling. People are still going to screw up their lives. Okay? Don't take away my right to gamble just because you don't know how to gamble. Okay, that hit a nerve. Wow. I'm sorry. I feel heated. Okay, Jeff, back to what you're saying. I am happy for you. I can see that you're investing in yourself. I'm proud of you for that. Even we've had Jeff in our home on Saturday nights for dinner, things like that. Like, we're trying to work with you, trying to get you back on track as you try to build trust back with your family and kind of help you on the road to moving out of the shed hopefully soon, and kind of getting.
That's the plan. Hopefully, yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, that we're kind of. You're on the ramp. You're on the ramp.
Yeah.
You're moving down the ramp.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for you to be at the end of the ramp, back home where you belong, with your family.
Yes.
So you taking the steps to make amends and to heal. However you do that, that's good. If you don't gamble, fine by me. Just don't push that on me. Okay? All right. Without further ado, let's get into our final segment. We are going to give Cam a call, and we're going to find out what it's going to take this week to make the big bucks.
What's up?
Cam, how are you doing?
I've been better.
Oh, shoot. Sorry to hear that, Cam.
It was a tough week last week.
Yeah.
I don't know if it could get much worse.
You know what, Cam? One thing I'm realizing is gambling isn't always about making money. Okay? That's a good part of it, but there's the other good parts of it, like the fun it gives you and the excitement and the thrill. And sometimes we focus so much on what's happening with our bank accounts that we forget what's happening with our excitement levels and our adrenaline levels and how fun Sundays can be. So don't get too hung up on the money, Cam. That's obviously important, and I know we're going to be in the positive by the end of the season if we keep pushing and we never give up.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that encouragement. I definitely need that. After that Bears blocked field goal, the double fumble touchdown play that lost me my matchup against Jeff, I didn't think it could get much lower. So I guess the only place to go from here is up.
That's right.
Started from the middle, went to the bottom, and now we're going to the top.
We're going all the way up to the top.
Hey, Cam, this is Jeff. I'm here.
Is Jeff back?
Yeah, I'm back, and I just want to apologize, actually, for my rude behavior last time we spoke. That was not right. That wasn't me. It was me, but that wasn't the real me. And I hope that you can find it in your heart to forgive me.
Jeff, I'll always forgive you.
Oh, my gosh.
Cam, before you forgive him, just so you know, Jeff just said he's not gambling anymore because his therapist tells him it's part of his healing journey is cutting out gambling out of his life. So I've been trying
Sounds
to.
like you need a new therapist.
Yeah.
No, I'm not changing my therapist. She's too good at what she does. Way too good.
I guess maybe I love that for you. I don't know.
But we're going to move on. If Jeff's not going to be on the rocket ship to the moon, he's not going to be on the rocket ship to the moon. But we're going.
We're not going to hold up for him. We're just going to keep on going.
That's right. All the way to the top, Cam.
All the way to the top.
We need the bets. We need him. We need him this week more than ever.
I agree. We do need him more than ever. That's why. Start with our sunny side upset of the week. There's one team that I probably pick against. Actually, I don't know if that's true. I was going to say there's one team that I pick against the most, and it's the team that cost me the most pain in my life, and that's the Packers. And I'm going right back against the Packers this week. I think the 49ers plus 2.5 is enough to get it done. It's minus 110 on FanDuel. I think the 49ers aren't a bad team. They've been injured on and off throughout the year. Some of the guys injured a little more important than others. And I think the 49ers get their most important player back this week, and that is George Kittle.
Wow.
I think we saw last week some holes in that Packers team. Realistically, probably shouldn't have won that game. I heard something that the Packers expected to come away with a blocked field goal at some point in the game. I think that's a load of garbage. Definitely got lucky there. Bears just gave that one up.
I would disagree with you, Cam. I think the Packers.
And Jordan Love's been throwing interceptions at a historical rate, so I think the 49ers should be able to come out of. I think they might be able to come out of this game with a win outright. But I am going to take the points. I don't want to get too greedy. Just take the points, make some money, and move on.
Yeah, we need some wins. Just need some wins.
Yeah, some bankroll builders.
Yep.
Then for our over easy lock of the week, I'm going to go with an alternate spread here. I like the Bucks minus 6.5 versus the Giants. I think the main line set at minus 5.5, but I'm not too scared of going up that extra point. Touchdown still covers for us, and I think the Bucks are also a really good team. They've lost some really close games, but have been really competitive in every game this year. I think Tommy DeVito. I don't believe Italian Power, Italian Stallion, whatever they want to call him. I don't think it's enough to stop Baker and the Bucks, who might be getting Mike Evans back this week.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think he might be the real deal. He's gonna come on the field. His mom's got his jersey fresh pressed, and he's gonna be ready to go, I think.
What's his agent's name? Oh man, his agent's got a great name too. I hope he's on the field. I think he's inducted into like the Italian Sports Hall of Fame.
He's deep in the mafia, is what he is. This
True.
He's got the money behind him, and I'm always a little hesitant to bet on mafia guys.
That is a good point, but I think there's one guy who, if he's on your side, you maybe can bet against the mafia, is Baker freaking Mayfield.
Yeah, that's right.
That guy does not care how much blood money your family has. He'll go in there and rip your heart out.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm tailing. What the heck? I'm tailing.
Taking the alternate spread there gets us to minus 102 on FanDuel. So some better odds. I think it's like hanging minus 120 at 5.5. So we'll a little more risky, but again, just trying to make some money.
Let's do it. Lock it in. How many legs we got on our parlay this week, Cam?
I went with 6 again, but I think there's one leg. I'll read them all out. There's one leg that I give people permission to cut out of the parlay because I might not have the most sound judgment when it comes to picking this team's games, but this is what I like. Starting with Cardinals, Seahawks over 47.5. Eagles minus 2.5 versus the Rams. Bears plus 3.5 versus the Vikings. Lions, Colts over 50.5. Broncos minus 6.5 versus the Raiders. And Patriots, Dolphins over 46.5.
Oh. What's the leg you're a little uncertain on there?
I wouldn't give anybody a hard time if they remove Bears plus 3.5 versus the Vikings. I think the Bears defense is unreal. Sam Darnold hasn't looked as great in his last couple games. Bears defense forces a lot of turnovers, puts the team in good field position. I really liked what I saw from Caleb Williams last week, and that's why I don't feel comfortable taking the Bears plus 3.5 at all. But at the same time, like it looks good, but I don't feel comfortable.
That's fair.
It's hard to feel comfortable when you can't really trust Caleb Williams. He might be okay one week, and then he'll go on like a 3-game just crapper.
I want to maybe just cut you off there and say I have 100% trust in Caleb Williams. It's maybe the guys calling plays who I don't have trust in. Actually, only being one guy, Matt Dweeberflus.
Fleeberflus.
I don't have any trust in him.
He sounds like he comes straight from Whoville.
Yeah, he sucks.
Oy.
Cam, do you think he he'll be the head coach next year?
No.
Okay.
Cam, how much would you bet if you were given even odds? What would you bet on him not returning as a head coach anywhere in the NFL next year?
Next year, 0. Or wait, sorry.
How much would you bet?
I think the percentage chance of him returning as a head coach next year, actually, oh man. That's the thing. He shouldn't be a head coach anywhere, but the Bears are also incompetent. So, man, like 30% chance. So if I was given even odds, like I think I'm hammering that. I would maybe put a kidney on it.
Oh, wait. Well, you got 2 of them.
That's true. But taking those 6 legs, parlay, those odds come out to plus 4,800, 48 to 1. I'm putting 0.125 units on it to win 6. It's not retire money, but it's some nice coinage if we hit those. I like all the other legs there. Cardinals, Seahawks. That's 2 decent pretty good offenses against some pretty mediocre, if not bad, defenses. Eagles minus 2.5 versus the Rams. I think the Rams are not bad, but I think the Eagles are just really starting to put it together. I think they're turning into a bit of a juggernaut and are going to make a real big push here in the last couple weeks. Lions, Colts over 50.5. Like the Lions last week, did they not cover that number by themselves?
Yeah.
I think the Colts will probably put up some points. The Lions are just they're dominant. Broncos minus 6.5 versus the Raiders again. The Raiders are so bad. The Broncos look not half bad, and that's a division game. I think the Broncos can cover that 6.5 points, and then Patriots Dolphins over 46.5. Drake May looks pretty good. Again, it's like bad defense in New England, or not great defense in New England, and then the Dolphins, they've got to start scoring points somehow, right?
I freaking hope so, man. This team is just it's tough to watch your team when you know they're not making the playoffs, and I'm just like, there's this sick part of me that just wants a great draft pick, but then that's no guarantee. As usual, love your expert advice, Cam, and I am looking forward to making some money with you tonight, buddy.
I agree. Looking forward to making money. Hopefully my team can also come through.
Your fantasy team or your real life team?
Everything.
All the best, Cam.
I appreciate you, boys.
All right. Well, Cam, great hearing your voice. Have a good one.
Good to hear you too again, Jeff.
See you, Cam.
Love you guys.
Bye. Well, that wraps it up for this week, guys. Thank you for sticking with us through kind of what's been a tumultuous few weeks, and that means a lot. The fact that you guys are back listening, and is in the same way I've given Jeff a second chance, I feel like you guys have given me a second chance, and this podcast a second chance. The fact that you're tuning in means the world. Please, we really appreciate your feedback in the chat.
Yes.
Kind of words of encouragement. What do you think about that apology? What do you think about Jeff's healing process? And I could use some support in the chat as well, with some of the gambling insight that I had, and just to kind of set Jeff straight a little bit, I would really appreciate a little bit of backup in the chat.
Okay.
And we will be back next week. We will be bringing you expert advice, and we will be helping you make it through this final push of the season. It's more important than ever to stay dialed in, stay tuned in. So we will see you back next week.
See you guys.
Ciao.
Bye.